Per usual, we start off with statements. So this is the creator that we signed this month or last month, and I'm going to kind of walk you through. Typically, we talk about like not very traditional OFM, where we talk about very gray hat, strategies and operations that allow us to scale from 0 to 150K in 30 days. But not everybody is in that position, and they want to take things on a more traditional route where they are onboarding semi-established creators and simply just inflating their earnings, right? You don't need to start with somebody who's never been in the space before. You don't need to start with a brand new creator when realistically you can start with a girl who's already making a little bit of money and then just inflating those earnings and making a massive, cut off the page. So right here is the month that we took her on. I think we took her on at the end of March. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, she went from seriously $19,000 or very low months to obviously her first month with us closing $30,000, which means we get a percentage of that. So we ended up signing her on a percentage agreement, considering this is not a really, like I said, this is more of a traditional side of things. I want to be transparent about the different types of profits and the different types of numbers. So let's kind of look at this. So we signed up for 30%. So 30% of this number right here is $9,000. 15% of tips and messages are going to go to, let's go, Raycast note, $9,000, 15% of tips and messages equals, let's see, we have tips plus messages, 15% of this is this. That's exactly how much we pay in chatting, which means we profited, after literally all other expenses, we profited a total of $6,308. Now, signing this creator, setting her up, and just increasing my monthly profit by $6,000 was the easiest thing of all time. And I'm going to show you kind of what we did. So if we take a look here, we can see that first and foremost, we're going to go through the exact strategy of, how we did this, how she's happy and whatnot, and how we inflated those earnings. So let's take a look at this. So we had access to another creator that we work with. We had access to her Instagram account, and she allowed us to go on there and just do DMing off of her account. What we did was, one, we started with all of her mutuals, and none of her mutuals were really biting. Then we went to Only Finder, and we went to probably a few hundred Instagram accounts, and we just did a crazy amount of Instagram outreach. Now we have this pretty much outsourced, and so what I mean by that is we have virtual assistants in the Philippines that actually do all of the phase one outreach. And phase one outreach is simply saying things along the lines of, hey, you're cute, or haha, slay, or good content, or you're adorable. That's DMing them, leaving comments, etc. Now, once the creator actually responds back, this then gets passed off to a USA employee who is going to finish the close, because the Filipino is not going to be able to have enough real interaction with this creator that's going to convince her that she's not, not a chatter and whatnot. So anyway, this gets passed off to a USA employee, where we then build rapport and start building a relationship. Now, this can take upwards of 1 to 2 weeks of constant just talking and getting to know somebody. And it's pretty on and off, where, 1 week you guys are talking for a couple of days, the next week you're not. These girls get busy and whatever it may be. Now, after you guys have built a semi-close relationship, you propose, you introduce, the big question, hey, just want to know, how's your OF doing? And you're going to get one of two responses. Either it's not good or it's great. Now, neither of them are good or bad. It doesn't really matter. So first and foremost, you still need to have the sales. And so let's say they say it's not good. Then you say something along the lines of, sorry to hear that. If it helps, I do work with a killer agency. And then she'll be like, oh, okay, that's awesome. Then she ends up being interested. I'm just walking you through exactly what we did. And then We send videos of earnings and talk about, a chatting ratio. Very simple, conversation where it's like, hey, these are the earnings we get. You send us your earnings. Your chatting is a 2-to-1 ratio. You have a $5 to $10 LTV. We have a $20 LTV. So if you were to come over to us, your earnings would seriously inflate. And honestly, when you build enough rapport with the girls, they can be more upfront. I know we had specifically told her, like, your chatting team, your management is terrible. Your account is being smoked, because they had built that relationship, right? So sending those videos of the earnings and talking about it actually got her on a call. Now, if they, say their chatting agency or their management is great, that's completely fine. Just kind of ask them, like, what all benefits. Almost ask as if you're interested. Be like, oh, seriously? What benefits do they offer? And then they're going to tell you everything that they offer, because they're going to think you're interested in their agency, but then realistically, you're just going to use that as a pinpoint as to what benefits your agency offer. And typically, a friendship is enough to just rope someone in. Anyway, once you have them, good, you want to get them over to a landing page. Now, whether you send them to a website or a personal account, we do have a website, newfans.net, which looks like this. It's not bad. Artworks, newest creator, and whatnot. And then they're able to, like, follow us on social media and whatnot. And we were going to do a full rebrand. So our landing page isn't, like, the greatest and whatnot. So you don't need to have, like, the world's best landing. Anyway, then this funnels into, a meeting. And whether this is like a personal Instagram account or whatnot, this one specifically, we actually just sent this creator my phone number. And then I'm the one that was chatting with her. And then I got her to hop on a meeting. Now, I will actually show you the conversations that I had. I was like, hey, Ruby, it's Hunter. The creator sent me your contact. She said, thanks for reaching out. Yeah, she was telling me you would look over my account and tell me if you could help out. I was thinking about leaving my current management and switching over to you. Sure thing, you want to send info. So then this was a point where I am able to offer something for free. And this is one of the ways that you can just go ahead and build trust, is by going in and offering like a free consultation, like an optimization for their page. I say, question, you're massive on social media. Why are your subs not reflecting? Has your team talked to you about this? No idea. I always thought because of how I looked, but no, they don't handle any of the social stuff at all, which is perfect. That means we can handle your social stuff. You have like a perfect appearance for this stuff. And then she said they basically just have me bringing in my subs on my own. I said, you available to chat today, tomorrow, whenever? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm about to go to the cabin trip tonight, but I get back Thursday, so either Thursday night or Friday morning. I said, your page is set up horribly. What is your main IG? And then I said, I even showed her that she had this very rare feature on it, and they're not even utilizing it. I then went down and broke down her funnel and explained to her the chatting, ratios and all of the information that was important that they weren't doing, and this is what we can do. And that right there was enough to land me a meeting with her. Once I got in the meeting with her, I'm gonna actually show the meeting now.
I just didn't want to work with men or like talk to men.
How come?
Because I don't like men that much, and I didn't want to be giving a man my money.
Let me put it this way. It's in your best interest it's in actually both of our best interests for you to make as much money as possible. So if we scam the fans, for an example, what's likely going to happen? The OnlyFans page is going to get shut down. If the OnlyFans gets shut down, then we both lose our source of income. You know what I mean? So it's literally our least interest to kind of screw you over in any way, shape, or form. We don't run very traditional sexting scripts. I'm sure you're making sexting scripts, right?
Yeah.
So I've been a little bit about us. We've been involved in the industry since 2019 to now. So about 4 or 5 years now. And what had happened was initially scripts didn't even exist. Like people were just selling content, and it was pretty funny. You'd have to like message the model and you'd be like, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me this? And it was a headache. And when you take a step back and you ask yourself, why are these guys coming into the OnlyFans page at all? Why are they even coming in? Like, I mean, it's free, right?
Yeah.
Being said, you come to a newfound understanding that these guys are not here specifically for the porn, right? They're there for some kind of parasocial relationship, whether it's because they feel like they're a reject from society, or they're having a hard time finding friends, or having a hard time finding women.
Mm-hmm.
It's this newfound relationship that they can have online through somebody that they see, that they, visually are attracted to. And so that's why they're paying. If you feel any better, our lead department, her name is Haley. Her name is Haley. She is so incredibly sweet, and she will answer and do anything you need for you. So if you want to like avoid me, understood, Haley's your go-to.
Okay.
It was seriously a pleasure meeting with you. I will let you know on the chatters, and then we'll move from there, okay?
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, you just watched the meeting. Got her over a contract. First things first that we did was one, page optimization, updated her profile, her banner, her bio, and then updated all of her social medias. She didn't give us access to her social medias, but we just told her what to change her profile picture to, the link in bio, the bio, etc. Then we threw her on an initial chat team to kind of see how they would do. They didn't do very good that first month. I'm not gonna lie, they actually were pretty terrible. Let's see. So this is when they were initially on a chat team. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. I don't know exactly when we had gotten on her, but the first chat team that we had put her on was absolutely fucking terrible. So we moved her over to a new one, and pretty much I reach out to the models. I'm very transparent. I'm like, hey, the guys that we have you on are just terrible. Obviously, you have the conversation of, listen, just because I do this thing on this page doesn't mean it's going to reflect over here, yada, yada, yada. But your job as a management, it doesn't really matter where you put the girl. The point is you increase her earnings and you make her more money. Like, doesn't matter what you have to do. The point is you need to do that. So I moved around different chat teams, different chatters, and just did a ton of split testing until we found the chatters that were actually doing the best. Now, once we had that done, then we just went into content repurposing, where it's simply just setting up a few iPhones just to make her happy. $6,000 a month investment. If I buy, 3 or 4 iPhones and we just do content repurposing on them, bring her more fans, she's happy. And it was a really cheap, investment. Then we migrate into OFTV, where this is fully automated. And if you are interested in more on OFTV specifically, I have another YouTube channel, or not another YouTube video that you can watch. Then once we get her set up on that, we just have a happy client. She has a group chat on Telegram where she talks to our personal assistant on any problems that she has, and if she has any problems, the personal assistant just completely fixes them as fast as she can. And then other than that, it's a fully automated. So all in all, this was about maybe 5 to 7 days worth of effort. And now I have a reoccurring $6,000 a month in profit for probably the next 2 years. I have a really good retention on all of my creators. So wanted to break this down for you. I know we talk a lot about gray hash strategies, and not everybody is interested in gray hash strategies, but there is light on the other side. What I would recommend, if you're doing outreach, if you can get access to creators' accounts, it is not a lot better, but it's quite a bit better than accounts that are just lookalike accounts. Lookalike accounts are accounts that are not actually a model and you just set them up. The reason why is because the real accounts have a lot of mutuals, and reaching out to mutuals typically has a much higher response rate, and you get access to a lot more models a lot quicker. So other than that though, yeah, have a good one. Bye.